Well, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this another brand new day. Yay, another brand new day. And now my nose is itchy. It always happens whenever I turn on my webcams. Yay, thumbs up. I got a couple things I wanted to talk about, but the first one, because I just thought about this, because I was thinking about it last night. You know, there are some people, when they record, they use just a straight webcam attached to their machine, like I tend to do because that's what I have. There are some people that record using an actual camera. Now, I can't remember, and I forgot to look it up, if it's DLSR or DSLR, you know, but it's a type of camera. You hook it up, and then you record, and then you take out the memory card, and then you put it into your machine, transfer the files that way, and then you edit. So it's slightly better, much better quality. And I had to laugh because that's what I've turned my PlayStation into. My PlayStation over there is now my DS or DLSR camera, because I record off the PS4, take my USB stick and transfer the files over and then edit them. Much less compact, much less easy to set up, you know, because it's a console. But it works, so thumbs up for that. The one thing that I did want to talk about is what I've noticed. I have mentioned before, I used to have a, like clockwork, 2-week depression, non-depression cycle. I don't know what the actual term for my type of depression is, but every 2 weeks I'd be down, and then 2 weeks I'd come up to normal. My normal is still everybody else's baseline normal is here, and I was still here. So it was like very depressed, very depressed. But, you know, you get used to a cycle. Past couple years, it's been broken up and getting much more erratic and random, and I don't like that because I've had decades of getting used to a cycle. Now that cycle's been disrupted, but I woke up this morning feeling kind of and it's while I've been oh, this is gonna be fun. I can't shake this loose. While I've been just waking up this morning, I've been feeling the blanket of biochemical depression. So however long the cycle dip is going to be, however deep it's going to be, I don't know, but I'm coming downward into a trough, and so it's going to be another fight and struggle. Yay! Life is life, but hey, just thought I'd mention that, and thumbs up for that. I do actually have some topics here. One is, I'm going to talk about the Shelton water quality. The water quality in Shelton is just absolutely terrible. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is I had mentioned before how, I think it was yesterday, how I had to buy a gallon of distilled water to use in my sleep apnea machine. And yes, if you have fairly high quality water with not many contaminants in it, you can, in a real pinch, use it inside of whatever machine you need. But the problem is, there's a lot of chemicals, a lot of stuff, and that's why you get buildup on your sink, you get buildup in your pipes, you get discolored stuff if you have a drip. It's just all the impurities in the water. It's fine to drink, but that stuff builds up on things. And when you have fairly small, moderately delicate machine parts and things that have to click and snap together, any buildup of stuff is just not going to be good. Shelton water is nasty. It's drinkable, of course, moderately. I mean, they've done a study, and it's like, I think it's 50% or more of the water sources in the United States are frankly contaminated, and we use them to drink from. So thumbs up on that. But the water that I have drank, and I've only lived in southern Shelton, so I don't know what it's like in other parts of Shelton, but in southern Shelton we have like a lot of water reservoir tanks and such, and they only refill those like periodically, and so the water it tastes metallic and it feels kind of greasy, and so the tap water is nasty. And if you let it dry, then you see the impurities. It leaves like a white, crusty stuff behind after drying, so thumbs up. So we have a filter, and I've got a bottle with a filter, so when I need to drink water that way, it's filtered and it tastes okay, and it's not greasy and just sometimes it just don't smell that good. So thumbs up. But the water we have here, if I use it inside of my machine is going to be gunked up and nasty here real soon. Thumbs up for that. Part of I talk about my stories and the backgrounds, but I don't talk about the actual stories themselves a lot. I mean, I know I do, but in comparison, no. Part of it, I try not to talk about the actual stories that I'm working on because your brain interprets talking about a project as progress on that project. So the best way to actually get a project actually done is to not talk about it, ever. You just do it until it's done, because your brain interprets telling people about it as work on it, and it's not work on it, but your brain counts it as. So you tell 5 people about your story and you feel like you've put in a full day's work. Your brain's done, it did the job, but it didn't. So I mean, I'm kind of torn on this, and this is a thing I wanted to talk about as well because of my acceptance of fate and my impending mortality and such. I mean, I wanted to be a published writer. When I was younger, 19, 18 and all, my thing was I needed to be a published paid author by the time I was 25. Now at 57, after almost killing myself with alcohol, doing brain damage, and just destroying all of my, what is that word? Ambition? Not quite a word, but I had a fire in my belly. I had to write. But midway through going into the Air Force, I wasn't writing so much because I was too busy drinking. And by the time I got closer and closer to the year 2000, because in the year 2000, in fact, I spent the year 2000 in detox. But the closer I got to there, the less I wrote. So by the time I was in detox, I wasn't writing anymore. And then only slowly writing tiny pieces while I was married to my wife. And then the depression after her death. I mean, over the past 2 years been feeling what I thought were just ashes of my ambition, just ashes of that raging fire in my belly. Turns out there were a few embers, and I've built them up into the coals and the sometimes open flames that they are now, where I'm thinking about the stories and I'm telling you about the background information. Thing is, I'm not sure if I really want to go through the effort of bursting them up into flame and actually writing and making the effort to send out and publish things. Part of it is just the lack of energy. Sometimes just talking about this stuff, doing a little bit of writing and editing, doing this sort of thing, by 9 o'clock, I've used up 75% of the stored energy I have. So it's hard to write. And even if I do write and I struggle and I fight and I get published, I mean, I've been published. I just haven't been published in what we call the pro market. And I'm making money off my fiction because I've talked about my fiction on video. I get paid for my videos. I'm getting paid for my writing. Even if I never do anything but just chew on these concepts and enjoy myself, that's fine. Because of all the writers that have ever been, it's not like that's immortality through your work. When I was growing up, since I was born in 1962, by the nature of the time, I think is what I'm trying to say, the stuff that I read, because I was an avid science fiction reader, was from the 40s and 50s and 30s. There are a lot of people that were very famous during that time. If I gave you a list of their names, you might recognize one. All these people. So immortality through works, it didn't even last 50 years. Well, in some cases it lasted 50, but you know, it's not even 100 years and you might recognize one of these names. How many of these books that they made were in print? Well, if you go to a used bookstore, you might find them. Maybe. So, if I perish without ever having published anything, but just having enjoyed myself through mulling out this stuff in my head and telling people about it, that's okay. Because I've talked about how before, you know, when we die within 5 years, people have done their best to forget about you because it hurts. And in 100 years, the best you can hope for is to be a footnote in a history book. And in 1,000 years, what is human civilization even going to be like? In 1,000,000, will there be life on the planet? In 1,000,000,000, the planet will be inside of the sun's orbit because our star will have expanded into a red giant. In 1,000,000,000,000, what will the universe even be like? And time doesn't stop. 100 trillion, a trillion trillion, a trillion quadrillion, a quadrillion to the power of a quadrillion. Time keeps going. Part of it, of course, is just simple, hey, I'm telling all this stuff so that if I never do it, then I've already got the rationale. I've already got the comfort. So, it's okay. I'd like to write this stuff. I'd like to have the medications necessary to help me be able to focus, and then I wish I had the money that I could have enough cannabis that I could get through the pain, and just depression and life, and I'm going downhill in my trough, and life just seems fun. Now, we don't have to worry. I'm never going to do anything stupid. I've been living with depression my entire life, every 2 weeks. So it's not like this is unexpected. I have had decades of this. So just letting everyone know that right now I'm downward like this. And it's not going to go down forever, and I will survive, and I'm going to try and not be too depressing and or show my depression too much, because, hey, thumbs up for that. Because after all, depression is a liar. It lies to you. It's telling on me all these terrible things, and yet they're not true. So you just got to push on through and do what you can. And now, as I finally switch cameras, I have opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now, just taking a look, thanking you for them. I'm going to read them afterward. Thank you each one I do. Thumbs up is many. I can't even talk properly. But yes, comments. And if I mispronounce your username, no disrespect. I'm laughing at myself. I am so goofy. If I mispronounce your name, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. We're just not good at that sort of thing. And even though I count American Sign Language, oh boy, you should have seen my meltdown yesterday when I forgot entirely where I was. So I do the best I can, but hey. So now, now that I finally used my camera, let me call up my Chrome. We have Captain Rancor. Thank you very, very much. Try to adjust my chair so I don't look like my spine is broken. Kathy Kitscat, greatly appreciated. And Faith Dory, thumbs up. Bailey Snyder, greatly appreciated. Brendan Gomez, greatly appreciated. Elder Wolf 569, thumbs up and thank you. Russian Timon, greatly appreciated. Crisco, thumbs up and thank you. Colin Moore, greatly appreciated. Cyrus Glenn. And then we have Memes for Life at hash RIP Kobe, and thank you very much. Hassan Ismail, thank you very, very much. Derek Hughes, greatly appreciated. Ali Shabiri, thumbs up and thank you. Kier Lemongrab, good to see you in the comments. Magnetic FN, thumbs up and thank you. And Richard Jones, greatly appreciated. Colin Reisenauer, good to see you. Ethan Vive, thumbs up and thank you. And Big Abby, greatly appreciated. Nicholas Philippe, thumbs up and thank you very much. And Panda Boy, greatly appreciated. Confused Owl, 29, thumbs up and thank you very much. Kuchapachi Paul, good to see you in the comments, and I hope you can catch up. And then last but not least, Ice Damon, greatly appreciated each and every one of you. Excuse me. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Thumbs up and thank you so very much. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Definitely a good thing, especially when you're going down the trough into horrid, nasty depression. Thumbs up for that. And hey, trying to get my camera time in. If you could check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com. Yeah. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help support me but don't want to send money to one of those two places, I have a PayPal link down below. If you could support me, that would be very, very cool, greatly appreciated. And if you would like to help out but don't want to send money, I have an Amazon wish list link down below. If you could check that out, that would be very, very cool. It has things like hamster food, hamster bedding, cat food, silly things, not silly things. If you could check it out, that would be very cool. Do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definitely a thumbs up. And of course, if you could subscribe to the channel and hit that bell, that would be very cool, greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up as well. I know I say the same phrase a lot. I get stuck on repetition. I'm a human being. Well, I have this video. I still have a video that I finished 24 hours, still waiting for YouTube to manually check it out and remonetize it if they're going to. I mean, there's a good chance they won't, but it's better than it just sitting there. And so I've got stuff a-coming, and that's a good thing. So, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend. Practice self-care, and just remember, depression is a liar. I want to say terrible liar, but then it sounds like, oh, it lies very badly. No, it lies very, very well, but it lies all the time. Don't listen to it. It lies. So take care, and I will see you.